Genetic disorders are small changes in the genetic code that end up affecting what that code codes for, the product that it makes, and therefore affect functions within the body. So there are genetic markers for things like multiple sclerosis, little mutations in signaling proteins that then affect, that then sort of increase your chances of developing that disease later in life. And unfortunately, because of the sort of statistical probability of those and the multiple sort of effects or the multiple contributing factors for those diseases, it meant that often people would have their genome sequenced, would be told they have a chance or a statistical probability of developing a disease, and then live their life not knowing if they were actually going to get that disease or if it was just a statistical probability that may never come to fruition. So epigenetics is the sort of study above the genome. Epi from the Greek is for above, and it's essentially looking at sort of tags, methyl tags, and also sort of acetyl tags that are added to the DNA that affect how that DNA is read by the machinery of the cell. So it's not, I mean, your genetic code is inherited from your parents, but the markers to some extent are as well, but the markers they're transient, they can change over time. So based on your environment, with the things you eat, the smoke, pollutants, all sorts of toxins will affect how your DNA interacts with the world and with the environment that it's in, and therefore can, within very short time periods, massively change the effect that that piece of code is having on your cells and then on your body. I think the niche that we're trying to look into is personalized nutrition. Lots of people know that the foods they're eating aren't good for them, and there's particular foods that they sometimes try and avoid, but they might not know why that is, and they might not really have an incentive to try and do that. Once we can identify, food intolerances or natural vitamin deficiencies and, mutations in transport proteins and all sorts of networks that then affect the sort of food that you absorb and how you use it. Once we can identify those, we can then direct people to a nutritional regime that's more suited to their genome and more suited to them individually, rather than the things that they've just accumulated. I guess the goal is, to have everybody in a healthier operating and a healthier, regime. People exercising the correct amount, eating what they should be eating, supplementing the things that they do need to supplement, rather than just, drinking and taking all of these different supplements in the hope that they help. Being actually able to definitively tell people that this is what you should be taking and this will help.